I've helped children who once couldn't say a single word start talking in full phrases, and now I want to show you exactly how we did it. Grow For It Speech Pathology's mission is to empower all children to speak confidently and with joy, and I want to start by saying this. If your child isn't talking yet, there is so much you can do. As a mum myself, I know what it feels like to worry about our children. You are not alone, and it's definitely not your fault. This channel is where I teach you, the parents, the strategies to get children talking. The same videos also train my team of 4 therapy assistants that help me deliver the therapy in Melbourne, Australia. As a speech pathologist, every day I meet parents who feel heartbroken that their child can't say what they need. I've been there too. When I was fresh from university, I had learned the theory but had never spent long enough in my university placements to see a child move from not speaking to speaking, worrying if progress would ever actually come. But then I discovered what really makes the difference. Let's walk through the 10 steps to speaking. But when I started focusing on implementing the programs that I had learned, something incredible happened. The children started to talk, and I was even amazed at the effect that I had on children. Oh my gosh, what I had actually learned actually works. I am stripping out the speech pathology jargon and fluff and combining all I have learned from these programs, including Haynen's It Takes Two to Talk, Laura Miser's Let's Talk About Talking, and PC Talk, into just 10 steps which I will share with you today. But firstly, let me share with you about a school-aged client aged 6 that still is and is in mainstream school. When we first met him, he only said one word, Papa. Within 1 month, we had him imitating sounds such as uh-oh. By 2 months, he was expressing himself by saying, help me. By 3 months, he started saying social words such as thank you, bye-bye, and please. By 3 months, he started saying playful 3-word phrases, both at school and at home, such as, I want Play-Doh. The teachers told Mum how impressed they were with his progress. Words are just the tip of the iceberg. Underneath are all the skills that come before talking, including connection, noticing, attention, and play. Also understanding, sounds, gestures, and turn-taking. Once these layers are built, with the right activities, words come naturally. Now here's the roadmap. Let's walk through the 10 steps to talking, backed by research, filled with play, and designed to help your child move from silence to speech. This article found that pre-talking, or in other words, pre-linguistic skills measured at 1.5 years old, influence how much children could speak by the time the children were 2 years to 2.5 years. In other words, children's earlier ability to communicate before words through pre-talking, in other words, pre-linguistic skills, was a positive influence on spoken words later. Step 1 is called Let's Have Fun. Communication starts in joy. The first step is all about connection. When you and your child laugh, play peekaboo, or enjoy tickles, they learn that being with you feels good and that connecting with people is safe and fun, and they want more and more of it. Children can't talk to people they don't feel connected to, so this is where it all begins. Research says that children who show early connection, including smiling, responding, and looking at faces, have stronger language skills later on. The way they connect with people early predicts how well they'll talk later. You can try these fun activities at home to work on step 1. Peekaboo or tickle games to build anticipation and joy. You're building the connection with each other. Running races. You say ready, set, go! Or you can say whoosh. You can also play with a toy car. So you move the car along, go, 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 stop. And again, go, 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 stop. Do that a few times. Before you start going, you pause. You wait for them to see if they might say it, because they really want the car to go, right? And then you go when they say go. If they don't say it, doesn't matter. You just model saying go. You can also play on the swings if your child likes swinging. You can say wee or up as you push. And again, you can target 1, 2, 3, go. So you hold the swing, 1, 2, 3, on go, you let it go. Do that a few times, and then you hold it back. 1, 2, 3. Wait for a bit. They might say go. If they say it, let them go. If they don't, you model it. But before children can connect, they need to notice you. That's step 2. Step 2 is called I know you're there. Before words, children need to notice and respond to people. This step is about noticing, turning to your voice, reacting to sounds, smiling back, or paying attention when something moves. Your child can't talk to someone they don't even notice, so we help them tune in to the people and things around them. The research shows that babies who notice what's happening, like sounds, movement, and faces, are more likely to develop joint attention later on. This skill, where two people look at the same thing together, is one of the biggest predictors of future language. To practice noticing people and noticing things, you can try these fun activities at home. You can hide a noisemaker toy, the ones that have flashing lights and lots of sounds, underneath a blanket or something, and then have a game where you and your child go and find it. You can do animal walks, so bear crawls or crab walks, and make matching animal sounds. Kids also love sabotage, so you could be doing a bear crawl and then make an unexpected sound such as a dog barking. Kids love to tell you that you are wrong. They are likely to respond somehow, which is what we are targeting. While you are playing, you can make surprise sounds. So you can tap on tubs while you are playing with something else, for example. What you can do is also blow gently on the back of their neck to get their attention. If you're finding these ideas helpful, there is a link to a free PDF of these 10 steps with activities in the description below. To help us get the word out there to more parents of children that don't speak, we would really appreciate it if you could subscribe and turn on the notifications. Once your child starts noticing you, the next step is helping them stay with you. Step 3 is called I can stick around. This is where we extend a child's attention. We help your child stay with you in play or conversation for longer periods, because conversation is essentially paying attention to one another. If they can focus for a few seconds longer, they can learn and remember more words. We use fun, movement-based games to build that sticking around skill. The research says that children who can sustain attention longer tend to develop stronger thinking, self-control, and language skills, including talking skills, because their brains have more time to learn and connect ideas. These fun activities will help your child's attention to extend. If your child likes to dance, you can play dance freeze. So that's when someone turns on music, you dance with them, and then someone turns off the music and everyone needs to freeze. The longer that they can play this game or stay in each round, the longer their attention span will extend. If they love to play on the slide, play with them on the slide. You could slide with them. You say, ready, set, slide, ready, set, wait for a bit, and then you slide together. You can also take turns sliding. The longer that they can play sliding with you, the longer their attention will become over time. If they love arts and crafts, it's a great way to extend their attention. So paint with them, glue with them, cut things with them. It's fun, and it also keeps them focused on an activity for longer and longer, which extends their attention over time. So each time you do it, you extend the activity for a little bit longer. Once they can stay with you, the next magic moment happens. You both start looking at the same thing. And this is what we call joint attention. Step 4 is called we're looking at the same thing. When your child starts looking at something and then looks at you, and then looks back at the item together, then that is called joint attention. This is the beginning of real conversation, when your child and you share focus on the same object or event. Because essentially conversation is sharing attention on the same object or event that you're talking about. It's how we show I see and hear what you see and hear. The research says that joint attention is a major step towards language, including speaking. Children who practice this skill early go on to develop more words and better communication. These fun activities help children have joint attention. So for example, you can play bubble popping together. So you focus attention on the same thing when you're blowing bubbles, And then you run around and you chase the same bubbles together. This will help teach the child joint attention. You can also play balloon volleyball. So you take turns hitting the balloon into the air. Again, this is training that joint attention where you're both paying attention to the volleyball. You can also play treasure reveal. So you hide small toys in containers or boxes and then you reveal them together. So you're paying joint attention to those toys that you're revealing. Now that you're both tuned in, it's time to speak your child's language, and that is through play. Step 5 is called Let's Play with Items. Play is your child's language. Children learn to talk by playing. So for example, if a child can, through play with their toys, act out a child and their mother is getting into a car, driving to the supermarket, they're going to buy milk, they're going to buy cheese, and they're going to buy bread, then go to the cash register, pay for it, and then drive it all home. If they can express that through play, they're more likely to be able to express those ideas in speech by speaking. Also, when they roll cars, stack toys, or pretend to feed a teddy, they're practicing the building blocks of language. And that is imagination, problem solving, and social understanding. Research shows that children with stronger play skills are more likely to use more words and longer sentences. Play gives natural opportunities to hear and practice language in a safe and fun setting. You can try these fun ideas at home to practice play that encourages more speaking. In water play, you can pour and you can splash and you can name actions. So when you're pouring, you can say gluck, 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 gluck. When you're pretending to drink, you can say gluck, 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 gluck. When water splashes, you can say splash. So you make sound effects, and they're likely over time to copy those sound effects. When they copy you, you copy them back. You can also build towers together. So you model words like up and crash or fall. You can also pretend play. So you can feed dolls or cook together. You can make sound effects like when you're eating. When you're cooking, you can stir. You can say stir. You can dump toys or blocks together. So you get a container and then you get blocks in those containers and then you dump those things out. You can also put dinosaurs in those containers and dump them out. Then you dump them back in. Kids love that. Before children can say words in play, they first need to understand what those words mean. Step 6 is called I know what that means. Understanding comes before talking. Children need to understand words before they can say them. When they follow directions or respond to familiar phrases, they're learning what words mean. The research says that babies who understand words early, even before they can speak, learn new words faster later. Comprehension drives expression. You can try these activities at home to help them with the understanding of things. When jumping up and down off a bed or from a sofa, you can model the words up and down. When you're opening and closing doors, you can say open and shut. Kids love it when we say, oh no, I've gone missing. Where am I? Peekaboo. You can model open and shut. During movement games such as running, you can model go and stop. These activities will help the child understand these words. Once they start to understand words, their own sounds start to take on meaning. And step 7 is my sounds matter. When children make sounds on purpose and you respond, they learn their voice makes things happen. Or I can get what I want with my voice. Every giggle, every squeal or babble is communication. Gesturing is also communication. When you respond with excitement, you teach your child that sounds have power. The research says that babies who used intentional sounds and gestures around 11 to 12 months spoke more words later. Meaningful sound making leads to speech. These fun activities will help your child learn intentional sound making. So you can make everyday sound effects such as brrr for cold, when you're eating things, when something's exciting, or uh-oh In animal play, you can say moo, bear, and woof, woof. Using sound effects and not actual words yet, you're meeting your child where they are. You're giving them room to have lots of success in speaking. And who doesn't like success? And their parents celebrating when they're having success. In car play, you can practice vroom vroom or beep beep. In train play, you can practice or toot toot. Even before they use words, children start using their hands to show you what they mean. Step 8 is called I can show you what I mean. Gestures like pointing and waving are early forms of communication. When your child points, shows you something or waves, they're already talking, just without words. The research says that children who use more gestures early on develop language faster. Gestures and speech use the same brain areas, so this step builds those pathways for future words. These fun activities that you can do at home will help your child build their gesturing skills. You can have bubbles or snacks and hold them slightly out of reach to encourage pointing or reaching. You can have wind-up toys, so you wait for them to show interest before activating the wind-up toy. You can model gestures, so wave, point, show and give them. Then pair each with simple words like bye-bye or up or more. Next comes the heartbeat of real conversation, taking turns. Step 9 is called It's My Turn. Taking turns builds the rhythm of conversation. This step is all about learning to wait, respond, and share moments. It could be a sound, an action, or a look. What matters is that it goes back and forth, like a real conversation. The research says that preschoolers who were better at taking turns in play with parents had stronger spoken language and longer sentences. These fun activities at home will help train your child's turn-taking skills. You can roll a ball back and forth. Naturally, you're taking turns. You can do a wind-up toy chase, so you wind it up and then you take turns chasing the toy. You can have dumping games, so you share turns emptying containers of toys in them. You can also do turn-taking while eating ice cream with one spoon. So 1 scoop for me, 1 scoop for you, 1 scoop for me, or 1 spoon for you, not a whole scoop. And finally, the most exciting milestone, when your child can start the fun all on their own. Step 10, I can start the fun. When children start to play on their own, they're learning to start conversations. The research says that children who can start play on their own, rather than just follow adults or other children, are more likely to use words and sentences because they're practicing starting communication. These activities at home will help practice your child's starting of conversations. You can hold the key piece, so whether that be bubbles, a ball, or a wind-up toy, and wait for them to ask for it through gestures or through voice. You can offer choices. So do you want the car or the bubbles? Wait for them to make a choice through gestures or through speaking. You pause often, how we've mentioned, so you give them a chance to start the next moment. These 10 steps might look simple, but they're incredibly powerful. They've helped so many of our clients find their voice, one joyful step at a time. Every laugh, every gesture, every shared moment, every word, your child can learn to talk, and you're the best person to help them get there. In the next video, we'll take a deep dive into step 1. Let's have fun together, which I'll add here when it's ready. I'll show you easy, everyday ways to build connection through play.